I'm scared. You were not meant to hook up with him. Bent over cleaning up cat shit from the floor.
Oh my god.
Blood just fucking came out of my nunu. I got stuck with saying, let me just turn on the light because I low-key don't like the light sometimes because I feel like it is bother.
I low-key got stuck with the word nunu.
I don't know. Ash Trevino, get your shit straight, you know? Was Nunu even a word before? Hey y'all, it's not that fair. Welcome back to a video. I kind of did miss talking to you guys for a little bit. I did.
That's my brother. He just took off. He's literally like taking off as I speak.
I don't know why I thought I would just keep it. I want to get into the Reddit. Sadly, I deleted my Facebook and I was going to read some scary stories. I'm still going to be reading scary stories, but it's going to be off of Reddit. But today, right now, it's not going to be like scary. It's going to be more like just embarrassing, or I don't know.
What these stories have or what?
Basically like bad dating experiences. So we're gonna go ahead and get into that. I thought I would do that. So this is like, I guess, a group or something. It says our dating hell. This community was created for others to share their horrible dating experiences, and I thought, we've all had our fair share of like dating in general, like dating experiences. So that's what I'm like, why not? Why not talk about it, okay? Somebody put 11 days ago. This is actually pretty recent. This over 18,000 members and 3 are only online. Like, what? Like, there should be more tea spilled. I have a lot of tea, but to be honest, I don't like typing my experiences. I prefer to like talk about them, like, because texting is so annoying. I don't know. I hate texting, especially like when you're in an argument. Like, I hate
it.
Okay, somebody said, have you ever been so flabbergasted on a date that you go into shock and your body stops working? Whoa, this is a long one, y'all. So be prepared. Grab your snacks. Grab whatever you guys do whenever you do what you gotta do. Because when I like hear podcasts or videos or anything like that, that's like mostly audio, I do like to munch or be busy or do something. You gotta do something. This is my first post on here, and I'm sorry if it's long, but please bear with me. I'm a female, 27. So back in December, after some light pressure from friends and family, I decided to download Bumble again. I just love to torture myself, lol. Anyway, I matched with this guy, male, 36. We started talking and he seemed cool and he was attractive. We had set up a date initially, which did not happen because he had forgotten, and when I expressed my disappointment, he proceeded to tell me that I had nothing to be upset about because he tried to meet up with me even after he forgot. Mind you, he was having dinner with one of his friends when I had texted him to ask if he was still coming, and then he told me to wait for him and then he would let me know when he's done. Obviously, I was fuming because the audacity to not only forget the date, but then to put me on standby like some sort of escort had me all the way messed up, so I told him he could get lost. Anyway, we unmatched from Bumble, and fast forward a month, it was my birthday, and I was on Facebook responding to birthday messages, and there was the same guy wishing me a happy birthday. I had completely forgotten that we were friends on Facebook. I'm not one to hold grudges, so I said thank you, and then he proceeded to comment on my story and that he would really love another chance to meet me and blah blah blah. I initially was hesitant, but we spoke for another week and he actually seemed like an okay guy. He seemed to be hardworking and had some good job in the oil field, his own house, and was looking for something serious. There were a few red flags though, like how he doesn't want his partner to have any straight male friends and that they will not be allowed to go on any girls trips, and he kept on asking if I would really date someone shorter than me because I'm 5'10 and he was 5'9, which should not be a big deal, but apparently it is, so I don't know. Now I'm the type that tends to end things quickly when I sense any sort of weird vibes, but I was told by friends and family that I should learn to give people a chance. So against my better judgment, like a complete dumbass, I gave him another chance. I'm scared. We set up another date. He had mentioned early in the week going to this one restaurant and getting to know each other more over food and drinks. I work night shifts and I'm off Friday, and he was off on Friday, so we decided to meet up at 6 p.m. I had gotten my makeup done and was all dressed up. I put a lot of effort into my appearance because in my mind that's what normal people do when they're going on a date. I hadn't heard from him. all day, but he texted me at 5:40ish saying that he was at his mom's house eating. Of course, now I'm confused because I was under the impression that we were gonna go eat, but I convinced myself that maybe it was just a snack or something. This man then texted me and said he was having his last beer and that he'll let me know when he's leaving his mom's house. At this point, every cell in my body is on fire and the steam is coming out of my ears, but I remained calm and said, let's see how bad this can get. And boy, did it get worse. So at this point, I was like, to hell with it, let's just see what happens. He tells me that he's done and asks me, so what's the plan? I was like, what do you mean? What's the plan? I thought we were going out to eat. He goes, oh, let's just meet at my house and then we'll figure out from there. Again, like a dead fish, I went with the flow. So I say, okay, sure. I get to his house. Of course, he's not there yet. He then calls me and says that he had to stop at Walmart to get dog food so he doesn't have to get it tomorrow. I was dumbfounded, but for some reason I couldn't stop laughing. As I'm waiting, he texts me and says, oh, just a heads up, I haven't showered yet. I was cracking up maniacally like the Joker because there's no fucking way. First of all, let me just stop there because you see, like, I feel us girls, well, I know I'm this kind of girl, like, where I don't want to have the patience, but I just give people the benefit of the doubt just because I want to. But I've been in similar situations like this where it's like you can just tell it's complete bullshit and like more bullshit after bullshit, and you just try to like be cool about everything, and then like it's crazy. That's really crazy. He finally gets there and hands me one of those chocolate roses from Walmart and says, oh, this is for you for waiting for me. I'm like, okay. I felt nothing. He then asked if I want to come in, and then he's just gonna shower really quickly and then we can go. I sit there on this man's couch as his dog stares at me like I'm the dumb bitch that I am while he showers. He comes out of the dresser dressed in a wife beater and shorts. He looks at me and says, you know, I just kind of prefer to stay at home and chill. I kind of just prefer to stay and chill at home mostly, and plus I think most places are closed now. It was a Friday night at 8 p.m. Nothing was closed. I told him that it would be nice to go out and that I hadn't eaten all day. He then tells me that if we do go out, I was gonna eat alone because he's done eating for the day. I was like, oh, really? He then says if I'm still hungry later, we can go to the Walmart and get a cauliflower pizza. Again, absolutely dumbfounded. So now here I am all glammed up sitting next to this man. His hair is wet and he's on his phone talking to multiple people, and I'm just too shocked to even muster a word. He then asked me if I want to play Jenga, and I just blinked at him, which I think he took as a yes, because before I knew it, he was setting up the Jenga. He then proceeds to talk about himself for the next 3 hours while I subtly go in and out of consciousness from exhaustion. At this point, he kept on urging me to drink since he had noticed that I hadn't touched the beer that he had handed me. Once I couldn't take any more, my survival instincts kicked in. I knocked over the Jenga and told him I had to go. He kept on saying it was too early, and I just made a beeline for my car. I honestly don't know how I made it home in one piece, but I just want to say that I have made the conscious decision to live life and die alone.
Wow.
Honestly, like, I feel like the guy was hesitant on whether or not he just wanted to fucking hook up or something. And I feel like the biggest thing that why do people depend on dating apps? Most of the time when I hear dating apps, I just hear, oh, people just want to fuck. In dating in general, like going on dates with people, I understand. I feel like nowadays going on dates with random people are just like so what's the word, it's such a common thing for more like hookups, like people, and it's like you're putting yourself out there too much. I feel like nowadays, I think everybody's love story is different, but I think the better love stories are when you least expect it and when you least try, like when you don't even try, because you go on dates and you meet people and it's just like you get more and more disappointed because it's like all the people that I have met previously, it's just like it's crazy how men can like be, they don't see our perspective and they probably never will, but it's just like, what the fuck, like this girl, that's crazy. And these are good because they're long enough to where like a lot of detail. Somebody said probably couldn't have gone any worse. I have been friend zoned hard by a girl I'm really into, and I'm just here to rant and moan a little bit if that's okay. So, I have been into this girl called Heather for a couple years now. We met through work, and I have always had a thing for her. She was in a relationship though, and despite not being a fan of her boyfriend at all, I never made a move towards her despite thinking she liked me as well. Anyway, she eventually broke up with this guy, and I made it pretty obvious to her that I liked her. She told me she liked me back and wanted to take things slow because she had split up. She had to split up with her boyfriend who she was with for a while, and I respected that. Couple of months of talking and flirting, she finally asked me to grab some drinks together, and this was going to be the first time I saw her in person for a couple of years. I was super nervous, but obviously I agreed because I was crazy for her. I'm a solid 7 or 8, but I'm honest and man enough to admit Heather was way out of my league. We went to this pretty fun bar, and there was a mini event going on. Sort of like a battle of the bands. Wasn't my usual scene, but I thought I'd give it a blast because of her. The night was going good, really good actually. We shared a couple of laughs, had a few drinks together, even fancied a couple times. It was going perfectly in my head until the later stages of the night, I think. Later. Me and Heather were waiting at the bar. We noticed one of the drummers from the bands who were playing, who we both really enjoyed. We thought we'd both say hi to him while we were waiting. We introduced ourselves and told him his band was awesome. We shook our hands to thank us, and Heather made a comment about the size of his hands. In that moment, I felt like she had some weird connection and they had chemistry from the get-go. It was awful. Ended up speaking together at the bar whilst I got the drinks. Heather invited him to sit with us at a booth we had together, which I wasn't entirely thrilled about. I was on the end, Heather was in the middle, and this drummer dude was on the other end. For around 30 minutes of conversation, I barely said a word, and I have never felt more of a third wheel in my life. Ended up speaking together at one point. Heather got up because she needed to go to the toilet because a drummer guy was quite a big dude, and she sort of had to squeeze past him, and as she did, it was kind like she grind against him a little back and gave him this look. From that moment, I knew the date was over for me, and I just sort of accepted things. So it was just me and the drummer dude. He finally talks to me, asked me if Heather was my girlfriend, which I was a bit annoyed at that because why would you ask that now? I told him no, she isn't. He sort of smiled, finished off his drink, and told me he was going to fuck me tonight. He left the booth and went back to the bar. I was completely gobsmacked. When Heather came back, instead of coming back to the booth, she went over to the bar with him. They spoke privately for about 5 minutes, and she comes back over and tells me she's gonna leave with Luke now. I didn't even know his name, so I was just done at this point. I told her it's okay, just have a fun night and stay safe. She gave me a hug and thanked me for the night. Luke didn't even bother to say bye or anything to me. I thought about having another drink, but I was just insanely deflated and left. Didn't hear from Heather until 2 a.m. Of course, I was still awake. I couldn't sleep and was just thinking about how badly the night went. I won't get into details here, but quite frankly, I see the point. I will confirm she did sleep with Luke.
Dude, what the fuck?
What the fuck? That's crazy.
She's a hoe.
Because I tried to wax my face earlier with a face strip and no bueno.
Fuck you, Heather. Fuck you.
This one is called My Date Has a Girlfriend. I've had this childhood friend since I was about 5 years old, and we went on our second date. While we were watching a show on their phone, and things were starting to get intimate. I seen a call from someone saved as Baby. They ignored it at first, but Baby called about 5 times. They finally answered, interrupting our moment. They left the area to take the call so I couldn't hear the conversation. When I came back, they asked if I knew someone named Baby. I'm confused. I don't get this shit. This one says, first date from hell. Went to a girl's house last night for a first date. She just started at my job. Definitely not my type and a bit older than me, but I just wanted to get laid. She seemed to be of the same mindset. Talked for a few days, then I went to her trailer last night. Oh my god. I could smell the ammonia from the cat piss as soon as I stepped out of the car. I was hoping they just dumped the litter box and went inside. Nope, the whole house smelled like fresh cat piss. It was intolerable. So I walked into the living room and set the pizza I brought on the counter. And that's when I noticed the German cockroaches everywhere. Oh, one word flashes in my head. Nope. I look at her and she's bent over cleaning up cat shit from the floor. Like, why would you invite anyone over to this shit? Why are you now cleaning up animal feces when you knew I was coming over all day? My mind is racing at this point with excuses as to why I need to leave. Eventually, I settle on, hey, I forgot something in the car, I'll be right back. So I walk back outside, this time looking around more intently. The walls, floors, and furniture are teeming with tiny roaches. I get in my car and sped off. I sent a text basically saying, hi, hey, I'm sorry, but I just can't handle roaches. Also, I couldn't breathe. Have a good night. She messages back, I'm in the process of getting rid of the bugs and I don't know what smell you're talking about. What? Bullshit. First of all, you don't just get rid of an infestation like that. Shit's a whole process. And if you're at the point where you can't smell the cat piss anymore, then I feel very sorry for you and your 15-year-old son who has to live in that filth as well. She asked if we can hang out elsewhere. I haven't given her an answer. It's no, obviously. Now that I've seen how you live, I literally want nothing to do with you. When I got home, I immediately stripped and put away all my clothes into scalding hot water and soap. Then sprayed down the inside of my car with cleaner. Traumatizing.
Oh my god.
That is so fucking nasty. What the? Yo. First of all, how can you be that confident to fuck someone? First of all, first of all, having the confidence to fuck someone is like, just like for fucking is like weird. It's taking a lot, you know? And having the confidence to bring someone over knowing that you're infested with fucking roaches and your fucking house is full of shit and piss, I would rather fucking not have that happen and rent a hotel. No, don't even worry. Look, the thing about this bitch, she should stop worrying about hooking up. Instead of spending the time with hooking up with a random ass person, she should spend time cleaning her fucking crib. Because first of all, like, that is nasty. Nasty. I get it, we have our days where we don't clean that much, but you still gotta like control that shit. You gotta control that, because at the end of the day, that says a lot. Like, how can you be that like confident hooking up? Ooh, bitch, you need help and it shows. Okay, let's get on to the last one. Somebody titled this, I can't make this up. It reads like a rom-com. Cute bar, guy meets girl, followed by misogyny, food, and explosive diarrhea. Please laugh at my expense. Date began wonderfully. I was in a clad and long sweater dress, wearing my hair extensions, new witchy earrings, and my dogs. Greet him and he's wearing a flat cap, which is my strange weakness. It was lovely and so was he. He made a comment on my breasts and how he wasn't aware how big they were for my pigs. 10 minutes into the date. This immediately sets me off, but I brushed it off. He said it again later that night. TF. His mother called, which I told him to answer it. Finding out that he's the only person she has, which is heartbreaking. His family's pretty awful, so I feel terrible for him. He informs me that he doesn't talk to his mother every day or every other day. He informs me that if he doesn't talk to his mother every day or every other day, she gets worried. Now, this can be good or bad. It's great to have such a close relationship with a parent, but I also worry about the future. Anyway, I find out that he's 42. I excitedly announce that he knows the answer to everything. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference. He didn't understand the reference, so my nerdy heart was a tiny bit crushed. He doesn't read much. I mean, if it's not your thing, I get it. I am reading about 5 books right now because I like to switch back and forth. He also wasn't much into Marvel and the MCU, which is one of my biggest desires because I want to nerd out about the multiverse theories and the like. This is also stated in my damn profile. The evening progresses and I take him back to my place. We start watching Wednesday because he hadn't seen it. Things get steamy and I take him to my room. We're about to do, how do the kids say it? Hit a home run? I have no fucking clue. He goes to put a condom on but needs to use the bathroom. He proceeds to spend 20 minutes in there making every noise a human can make, followed by vocals. Excellent range, I must say. I'm laying there under the blankets laughing under my breath because this shit so frustrating that it's funny. I'm not having sex tonight after that. I can't. I'm so turned off and it's not his fault at all. The situation sucked. I was just cackling out of frustration then. I ended up getting dressed, making myself a poke bowl and making tea. Questions. Why did you take him back to your place with the red flags? Because I needed to get laid. It had been months and he was attractive. We were both ethically non-monogamous and he knew what I was looking for. I don't know how I feel about that. I can already picture the kind of person like she is, like how she looks. Like it's weird. I know a lot of girls like this.
Like the vibe, like that nerdy vibe and stuff like that. I feel like I do give off a nerdy vibe, but I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like I'm not smart. I'm not the nerd. I think I'm more of a geek than a nerd.
There's a reason. Like I feel like with everything that we do, everything happens for a reason, and I feel like genuinely like he got diarrhea for a reason. You were not meant to hook up with him. That's what it was. You were not meant to hook up with him. Okay? This is the last one, and I saw the title, and it's like, it reminded me of my ex. Because it says, my ex threatened to suicide if I broke up with her. Low-key my ex. I'm not gonna lie. Look, I probably would have only lasted like 2-3 months with the guy. I ended up lasting like years on and off. And there would be times where he would say, Nat, I'm gonna myself, and other things like saying sorry, I feel like sometimes I have an accent and I'm trying to control it. I think I do have an accent, but I try to control it most of the time. Let me just read the story and then I'm gonna share my one weird experience that I had. Okay, I know the title sounds bad, but my ex-girlfriend had really shitty mental health. But I really liked her until she started freaking me out over the smallest things. For example, me wanting to watch anime, play video games, or even call or hang out with my friends. And before you ask, no, I didn't do it all the time. I wanted to play Overwatch with my friends for an hour or two. She started yelling and guilting me until I did whatever she wanted. Plus, we only did what she wanted. She was never willing to try anything new. And after a month of relationship, I broke up. I'm sorry if my post is confusing. I just wanted to vent. Somebody said, hey, OP. Regardless of anyone's mental health, it's never okay for them to control others and threaten self-harm. You did the right thing by breaking up, and in the future, please consider treating these threats very seriously for the first time they come up. If someone threatens suicide or self-harm, it's okay to call for help and get them in a treatment and leave the relationship. If they're serious about hurting themselves, they will get the treatment. And if they aren't serious, it will be a wake-up call for them and the people around them that the behavior is not to be tolerated. Good luck. That is true. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna end it off with that note. Yeah, I did have my ex threaten that a lot of times. Like, you know, he would go on a trip, he would come and just like not leave me alone. It had gotten to a point where I was like cornered, backed up to a wall outside of my parents' place, and I was like, let me out, let me like move, I'm done. And I had to scratch him because like I didn't know what the fuck to do. Like, what do you do in that situation? Like, and I'm claustrophobic. Like, if you're like putting me to the fucking like wall, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to fight. I'm putting myself in the spot. I don't know how to fucking fight. And One time he had like a broken mirror or something. I don't know what happened. Like he had a broken mirror, so he had like shards of a broken mirror.
And he carved an X into his chest.
So if you're ever like, the minute that somebody says something like that, you gotta leave. Like you have to dip. Like you have to call, first of all, the hotline that you need to call and dip, because you shouldn't feel obligated to be with someone just because they feel like they need to depend on you. Like no, like it is okay to be dependent on someone, but you also gotta be like normal. Like don't be fucking saying this stupid shit. Yeah, that's just pretty much the way it is. And uh I just thought about reading this and I didn't think I was gonna get this much detail and stuff. It's crazy. If you guys do like these stories, and if you just give it a thumbs up, if you guys have some similar stories or bad dating stories, please share them. Please share them with me, and I want to do videos like this. I really did like reading this and it was fun. um Thanks for watching a not that fair video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.